Indeed, that was beautiful. I know you didn't know how to describe it, but now we know, right? We look
Yes.
back, and that's a beautiful peak state.
Yeah, no, exactly. I didn't know how to explain it and I didn't know how to describe it.
Mm.
And only much later,
Mm.
and especially now this year, there is like the observer is the observed.
Mm.
And this was exactly what happened to me,
Yeah.
But for me, it was just like a huge shift of perception.
Mm.
And I realized that, reality is not reality, or your reality can change a lot, and you're still in the same world, but it's all different.
I
So
see.
this was a big shift. I had another shift that changed me a lot, and that was that in many of these courses,
Mm.
be it in India or later in Taiwan,
Mm.
at night, suddenly I woke up like at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and I was in full bliss. I was so blissful or happy that I just cried and cried and cried for no reason. And it felt like melting with everything that is. You
Mm.
have then in this phase or in this time, you have no thoughts, you have no desires because you are so extremely blissful and happy that there is nothing wrong and there is nothing else you need. It's like perfection. It's like paradise. It's paradise. This went on for an hour or 2 hours, and it's like being completely empty, but full of this joy and bliss and melting with everything that is.
Mm.
And this came every now and then for no reason. There was not a special reason or cause. There I also realized, this is something that I could never achieve myself, but suddenly it was just given to me. And that also showed me the power that is
Mm.
in this oneness, the power that is there, and
Mm.
that they can just give it to you and suddenly you have it.
Mm.
And that's maybe then also, what happened to me in this one process where the enlightenment or the end of thoughts happened.
Mm.
And that was actually a process that was remote online
Mm.
over Zoom. And I wasn't in a good state. I was smoking and also drinking a little bit of wine.
Mm.
And I had a girlfriend at that time doing the same. The girlfriend was very much against the movement. She was not so spiritual and she thought there are better ways to grow. When it was about this course that was online, it was a 5-day course. I didn't want to do it, but then there was an American friend. She said, there are now so many people getting enlightened. So this is the chance. And I thought, what if I would miss it? What if I would not do this course? And then afterwards, everyone is enlightened and I didn't do the course. So this was my reason why I finally participated. And I was not very motivated and I was not so much present. I was always smoking again at the window, like every 15 minutes. I smoked a cigarette. And in the course, there was a last process where our like chakras were balanced.
Mm.
And I did this process. And when the chakras were balanced, suddenly I felt like on a ship, like this whipping. And I thought, wow, this is very physical, like on the ocean or like on a stormy sea. And after this whipping or this ship, I realized that my head felt like a stone head, like when you get sick and you
Mm.
can't think anymore and you feel like a huge head that
Mm.
is out of stone that cannot do anything. So I thought I get sick And for 2 or 3 days, I had this stone head that couldn't think anymore. And I could actually feel how someone was like pushing away the thoughts. Like, thoughts only came a little bit up and diminished. So someone was like really suppressing them. That's what I could feel and see. And after these 3 days of like pushed away thoughts, and after these 3 days of feeling like a stonehead, everything became normal and the thoughts were gone. Thoughts were completely gone. Whenever then I was, for example, watching or seeing something or going for a walk, I was fully in nature with whatever is. I felt like first time reborn or newborn. I felt like I've never seen or experienced the things. I was always like walking through something, but I was so full of thoughts that I didn't realize anything. And from there on, I was just observing and walking through the nature, seeing the trees or the leaves. It was like being first time alive. Yeah, this was a very different experience from then on. And it stayed like that, it was never changing. The thoughts stayed away.
Wow, that's beautiful, Andy. Just to give us a bit more perspective, when did you first or received your first energy transfer? Do you remember which year?
Yeah, that was August 2008. That was the
2008.
first. Yeah, that was this craniosacral therapy at the Diksha, the first time.
Right. Yeah. The anxiety or depression was gone after you came back from India, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was gone. And I had a feeling of I'm not alone. Before I always had this feeling of I'm lonely. Even other people or when I was in a group, I felt lonely or disconnected. And after this India event, I felt there is someone with me. Actually, I have missed a story there. I didn't mention it yet because there was one process where we were in the temple and we had to again repeat something, some sentence, some mantra. I was sitting there and in front of me was a picture of the two leaders of oneness, which is AmmaBhagavan, Sri AmmaBhagavan. They were there on the picture. And while I looked at it, suddenly they flew towards me and stopped here. And they were like very little, but stopping here and like waiting here. And I was a bit scared or afraid and I didn't know what happened. I said then to Bhagavan, which was standing up and was like trying to enter me. I told him, Bhagavan, I can't let you in because I'm a Christ, and as a Christ, I only believe in Jesus Christ. And then Bhagavan had some kind of yellow dress and he had some cap and he had a bishop stick.
Oh.
And he was like knocking on the floor and saying, I came in the name of Melchizedek. And I knew from the Bible that Melchizedek was in the line of Jesus Christ. He was like a prophet before Jesus Christ, and it said there that Jesus Christ is in the line of Melchizedek, of the high priest Melchizedek. So I was very puzzled. I was like, this is from the Bible, but we are in India. At this very moment where I was puzzled, he walked in, like he entered. And silently, Amma, which is his wife, was following him. I saw them then walking in my heart, like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Then I heard from him, and I didn't know these English words, but I heard from him, I abide in you as you abide in me. I didn't know abide, so I had to look it up later. I realized like, wow, this is from the Bible. And it's like, I am in you as you are in me. And at that time, it was just like a saying, it was words. But later, with the enlightenment and the absence of thoughts and this, I am the observed and the observed is me, I understood exactly what this means. Because nowadays, I don't see like I am Andy and you are Helen. Nowadays, it's like a field or like a movie, and in this movie is Andy and in this movie is Helen. But my perception is that of a field. So it has changed a lot. You know, this I abide in you as you abide in me is a reality now. It's something I experience. And there, you know, these many years back, it was just words. But now it's reality.